Today I wanted to talk about timelines and how you can shift your current timeline and what exactly timelines are, and that you're able to have some sort of an influence about what timeline you're on. So basically, all infinite possibilities exist within this reality. And you, as your conscious state of awareness, can exist in different timelines as you. So what this means is you're able to shift your consciousness and your experience onto a different timeline, as they are all basically intercepting at one point, at one moment in time. So what this means is less about stepping through and experiencing everything being different, like the world being backwards or upside down or anything like that. It means that all possibilities exist. So choosing something other than what you choose enables you to make a bit of a switch. But the one thing that is really, really important to be aware of is the fact that how our physical brain works and how the mind works is often it locks us into the ego patterns. So, and this is a function of the brain. It keeps us being able to walk and read and write and things like that. So it's not a negative thing. However, when we are clinging to external truths, this is what can keep us locked into a certain timeline. So when we are judging our future based on our past consistently, we are then recreating the same future, which means staying on the same timeline with the same energy and the same things keep happening, because that's what we believe life to be like. That's how we understand and our perception of the world, of reality. So in order to experience a different timeline, we need to be able to expand what we think we know. And the further that you can do this, and living in the complete unknown is probably in the complete unknown with a state of love and gratitude will get you on your highest timeline, and it'll keep you there, basically. So if any of you follow Dr. Joe Dispenza, he speaks about this living in the unknown, living in a state of gratitude. And he even speaks about doing things different every day, or more so not doing things in routine. So if you get up, you go to the toilet, you put on the kettle, you go for a shower, you have a coffee, you have breakfast, then you drive the same way to work each day, you do the same job, then you drive the same way home, you feed your cat and dog, and then you have dinner, and then you go to bed. And if you do this, even if it's Monday to Friday, you're then creating a reality which is like a timeline that just continues, because that's what you do every day. And almost, you don't even have to be consciously aware half the time, because this is now a pattern that just keeps repeating, kind of like, a mouse on a wheel. And this is very simple, and it's actually one of the functions that we adapt to make things easier. So we don't have to be consciously aware. But what this does is creates that sort of comfort zone where you sort of aren't active in what you're actually doing in the present moment, because you're on this routine spiral pattern. So what he recommends, and what I also recommend, if you are looking at changing your future timeline or changing the timeline that you are on, is being able to step out of these patterns and start with the things that are that simple. Do things in different orders. Do things that you don't normally do in a specific way. One day, Go to the beach first thing in the morning. Get up and watch the sunrise. And I wouldn't say, even though that's beneficial, anything you create then into a pattern is going to create some sort of a routine. And the only thing I would say that kind of doesn't happen that way is a spiritual practice. Because and I mean, this can be different for everybody, but when you're in meditation each day, you're allowing the truth to come forward, hopefully, from your heart space. So because you are surrendering into guidance, it's not coming from you. It's not an actual act of doing. If you have a different, say like a workout routine, that's your spiritual practice, that's fine. But normally the spiritual practices that involve some sort of a workout, say like Kundalini yoga, are opening you up to be able to receive that guidance. So to be able to receive the flow of energy and therefore open you up to your intuition, to be able to guide you for the day, to be in the present moment. So ultimately, with timelines, we end up feeling like our life is always going to be the same, because that's what we're on, some sort of an autopilot comfort zone where we know what to expect and we know what's coming. Therefore, we're actually creating it because that's what we believe is next and what we believe is coming. So the best thing to do, other than changing your routine as much as you can every day, whenever you can, obviously, if you have to go to work every day, you have to work around that. But it could be even your routines at work. If you really sit down and analyze, not over-analyze, but analyze your day, you will find just how many patterns are in there, just how many things you do in an orderly fashion each day. It's incredible. But what it does is take us out of the present moment. And then what that means is we aren't then going back and asking ourselves in each and every moment, what is for my highest, greatest good right now? What is my heart telling me to do? How am I feeling to respond to this situation, to this conversation, to what I'm choosing for lunch, what I'm going to have to drink, who I'm going to talk to? Now, that is being in the present moment. And when we have awareness in the present moment as much as we can, and it takes a lot of practice, and don't trust me, I'm not even there, but my guidance is really saying to share this part about timelines, and that being aware in the present moment as much as possible whenever you think about it, even if you have to put post-its around everywhere, that's fine. We need to retrain the body, the mind, and the brain to be in this present moment, which means because it's a computer that's programmed with all of these patterns that make it easier for us, it takes work and it takes effort and it takes daily, hourly, minute by minute, second by second awareness of exactly what's occurring at each and every moment in time. Therefore, when we start to follow our heart, we start to be led in a completely different direction. And this could be extremely extreme. Or it could just be little tiny things that start clicking into place, that start opening up windows or doors into like, oh, wow, I didn't even know I felt that way, or I didn't even know this was possible. So when you start to feel like, oh, I didn't know that, or, oh, I never thought about that, that's when you know you're on point. You are changing your timeline. You are moving and shifting your conscious awareness into a new reality, a reality where possibilities exist that you didn't know before. And this is where the magic of awareness comes in, because if you already know how life is and what reality is, then it cannot change for you. You are literally locking yourself into a way of being that cannot be altered. So my guidance is saying the best thing that we can do is allow ourselves to be open and present to what our heart is desiring at each and every moment in time, to be able to lead us on the path to our highest and greatest timeline of limitless possibilities in this reality that we're aware of. So I hope this helped. Okay. Let me know if there's anything specifically you want to talk about, but at the moment, my guidance is just providing me with whatever to bring up at the time. Okay, bye.